Astral projection is not what people think it is. In fact, we are constantly astral traveling every day, every moment, even right now, as you are watching this video. We are multi-dimensional beings. Remember that. We are multi-dimensional beings. Our souls are very powerful. They can split into many different fragments and travel to many different places all at once. Recently, I saw a vision of my higher self acting as a spirit guide for a star family of mine who is in the Pleiades, and she herself, or her higher self, is also acting as my spirit guide with me in this current lifetime. Very interesting, right? So I'm communicating with my Pleiadian soul family who's in, who I am acting as a spirit guide in Pleiades. And guess what? I was able to see the vision because I was astral projecting to that space. That channel. It's like tuning into a television channel. Something like that. It's the best way I can explain it. And where I feel and see myself acting as a spirit guide for my star sister. Let's talk about astral projection versus astral traveling versus out-of-body experience. So these three are kind of similar. Actually, they're very similar, just slightly different. So astral traveling is when we, as a spirit, travel to many different places other than the current location or the current moment. And we are doing that all the time. Because our soul are so powerful, it can choose to go any places at any time. It's just that the core of the soul has to remain in our heart center. Astral projection is when we project our consciousness into other places other than our current physical body at our current location at the current moment. It's like a channel. Are you a daydreamer? Then you are projecting to your own wonderland, which is a realm of its own. Are you thinking about the past or the future? Then you are projecting to your past and potential future timelines to experience those moments consciously. It really depends how much consciousness you can project into. And that's where out-of-body experience comes to play. Out-of-body experience is really experiencing the full consciousness of our spirit, as we are often projecting in different places, but our consciousness at its core level still has to be attached to the body. So out-of-body is when we can completely detach our consciousness from the body, making it super powerful and super vivid, the experience. It's similar to astral projection but at a richer level. Whenever we are not living or consciously aware of our present moment, whenever we are not living at the present moment or consciously be at our present moment, we are already astral projecting. We are already projecting somewhere different. Even the past is a projection. Other people's emotion is a projection. So empaths, they constantly project into other people's energy because they get easily affected and they need to center themselves. They need to practice that. Otherwise, they would feel overwhelmed and they need to learn detachment as well. So the out-of-body experience is so powerful because it's literally the full consciousness experiencing that moment. And to do that, one must let go of all fear and uncertainty subconsciously, at the subconscious level. This is the hard part. And this requires some practice and deep shadow work. Because even if we remove the fear, and most of us already did, we remove the fear of the surface level, like astral projection. Of course I would like to do that. I would love to experience anything other than the human life. Of course we love to, but there is constantly that uncertainty or fear that we still have subconsciously because we are 3D and we are humans. And we need a lot of practice to do that. But know that astral projection itself is very easy. We are constantly doing it all the time. It's not as complicated as how others claim to be, and that we can only do it through out of body. It just differs from the amount of consciousness we are projecting in, and how we can retrieve the memories of where our soul fragments went. We are very curious, like where did our soul go? Where does our soul go now? Right now, where did it go? During sleep, where did it go? We want to retrieve those memories. And I'll talk about that too. When we are sleeping, we are more likely to astral travel, and depending on the level of our soul, some can split into tens, some hundreds, and some thousands of soul fragments, or even more. So really, it depends on how powerful our soul level. Like a celestial starseed, oh hell yeah, they're very powerful. They can split into thousands and possibly a lot more than that. But usually our souls are capable of at least splitting into tens. The fragments of our soul, they travel to many different places. Whether if it's low or high vibration or dimensions, they can travel anywhere. And when we project, it's like a TV channel that your consciousness is able to choose what channel to project into. If you yourself is in a state of a lower vibration, you project into the parts that are traveling in a lower vibration or dimension. Same with the high. So that's why it's essential to cleanse our body of all energies and purify our energetic field before we sleep or our daily lives in general. Ask source energy to surround us in unconditional love and light before we go to bed. There is one problem though. This doesn't apply to everyone, but when we sleep, we tend to lower our vibration so that our body is not too active, not too hyper, and so we fall asleep easier. Because for some of us, staying at a high vibration can be an overwhelming feeling and an excitement, It's like feeling that high. And sleep is also like death, and death is like of a low vibration physically. So that's why for some people, they cannot access the higher realms during sleep, even though they are normally a higher vibrational being. They can do it when they are meditating, however. Also, when we sleep, we access deep into our subconscious. Many times there are unresolved shadows in our subconscious mind, that shadow can manifest itself into our dreams. Seeing repetitive dreams about our shadows and being stuck in that state. This prevents us from astral projecting into places we truly desire. But it can be a good place to force us to do our shadow work, if not alert us into doing them. I do know that shadows can be resolved through dreams, and clearing can also be done through dreams. Dreams are powerful because dreams are astral projecting. But one must dedicate themselves through willpower to resolve it. So I do often have dreams from my childhood shadow, and it just reminds me consciously that I have to resolve them. Otherwise, I won't be able to access to greater dreams, or in other words, projecting into better places. Another problem is we often forget our dreams, where we have traveled, astral travel to. It's good to do a dream journal to keep track of our dreams, but you can also meditate to retrieve those memories, or meditate to find out where your soul went that night. The Akashic records are one of the places that you can find it. It records all the informations, including where you astral traveled to, your soul, where your soul astral traveled to. There are times, especially when we sleep, part of our soul splits and our consciousness project deeper into those soul fragments. When our souls split and leave the body, we tend to feel weaker, less intelligent, less productive, sometimes even lifeless. So we feel very much drowsiness. And this happens a lot after we wake up from a deep sleep or nap. And that's why we feel very drowsy and tired and lifeless. But my point is, We are not at our truest potential when our soul is not whole or complete, or when our consciousness isn't in our heart center. So it is good to practice soul retrieval. So do this. Simply set the intention to pull all the pieces of your soul back together. Meditate to focus on your heart center, as that is where your soul is located at. Focus deep into your soul. Visualize a magnet, pulling, attracting the soul fragments, and calling them to come back. Visualize it coming back slowly. Take the time to do this meditation in deep silence. I would say take 10 minutes after you wake up. And during the day, when you are not able to focus, just take a few minutes to set the intention to gather the soul together to be whole and complete. You may ask your guides or your guardian angels. Ask your guardian angels to protect your soul fragments from any dark or negative entities, to fully set a protective light tunnel and allow the soul fragments to return to your heart center safely. Ask your guides to lead those soul fragments, as that will make it a lot smoother. I hope this helps. Remember to like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share this video with your friends. I also offer Akashic Records reading. Just go to the website manifestyouridealdreams.com. I'll also leave the link in the description below. I look forward to having a session with you.